Solo Leveling has been a long anticipated anime, and honestly, it's one of the best anime to come out in recent years. It's sitting at an 8.28 on my anime list, which means most anime fans are loving Solo Leveling. But after the most recent episode, it's safe to say not everyone is liking Solo Leveling at this point in time. It's 2025, and I'm bringing back a segment I like to call Toxic Comments, where normally we will read toxic comments from viewers across Crunchyroll, wherever you watching, etc, etc. But for this video, I think we already know the issue. And if you're new to Solo Leveling, let me break down the story of Solo Leveling for you. It's actually pretty crazy. So basically, we start off with my boy, son Jin-Woo. He's honestly weak and trash at first. I'm gonna just keep it a buck. That's just what it is. But then something crazy happens when he stumbles upon this double dungeon and meets this mysterious being called the Architect. That's where everything changes for my boy. He gets hooked up with this thing called the system, which is basically like a video game interface, but for real life. And that's when the journey to become an absolute GOAT begins. Now, this isn't just your regular training montage either. The system puts Jin-Woo through some seriously crazy and intense challenges, and I'm talking about life or death situations that will make most people run crying back to their mamas, going back home, logging out, all at foreign. They gonna get up out of there. But our boy Jin-Woo, he takes it all in. He doesn't let it beat him down. He keeps leveling up. He keeps getting stronger and stronger until he's not just the strongest hunter around, but he actually surpasses these cosmic powerhouses called the Monarchs. Now, I don't want to spoil you, so you can look them up for yourself. I don't want to spoil you, so look it up for yourself. But like, you have to sit here and imagine how powerful he has to be that even gods are looking at him like, okay, this nigga might be a problem. Like, he might be really an issue. But on top of that, here's what makes Jin-Woo such a relatable character. Even with all this insane power, all he really wants to do is help his mama and his sister. Come on now, y'all. He was working 2 jobs. He was working as a hunter, and on top of that, he was paying motherfucking tuition for school, and he was paying the rent. But back to his mama, she's sick, and he's desperately searching for this magical cure called the elixir of life. And let me get y'all hip. Getting this thing is not easy. He has to fight his way through this place called the Demon's Castle, which is exactly as it sounds, full of these absolutely crazy strong monsters and demons who ranks range from B+ all the way to F. And that shit will give any hunter in the verse absolute nightmares. But Jin-Woo, he's like, I gotta do whatever it takes for my mama. I gotta do it for moms. And he just powers through it all. Now that's some serious family dedication right there. Which brings me to the whole point of this video. And man, I'm trying to tell y'all, this is where things get really interesting and messed up. So peep this. Our boy Jin-Woo's story in Solo Leveling Season 2 has been absolutely gas, right? Like, we can all agree with that it's been fire. If not, y'all can go argue with Crunchyroll that says Solo Leveling is its now 3rd most popular anime and it passed up JJK. But I digress. Here's my problem. The last episode, episode 9, yeah, it got hella people divided, mad, upset, and everything in between. Like, I'm talking about over 1K likes on Crunchyroll. And that's the first time this season that it's happened. The first time. And what's so crazy is it's all because of this super emotional scene where Jin-Woo finally reunites with his mama, bro. The whole reason he's doing this. And some people were all in their feelings about it in the best possible way. I'm talking about crying, boo-hooing, and, you know, feeling the same emotions Jin-Woo did. But others was like, hell nah, this ain't it. And on top of that, it's the only reason they said that is because it wasn't action-packed. And I know it's the shonen meatheads out there that had a problem and didn't more Ken likes. I know it was y'all. But the whole situation has got the anime community in a heated debate. Like, people are going back and forth about whether we need these deep character moments or if they should just stick to the action. And it's actually kind of wild how divided everyone is, because nobody said anything when Naruto was crying after he lost Jiraiya. Ain't nobody said shit when Luffy was crying over Ace. Nobody said shit when Vegeta was fucking crying in the rain like he was in New Edition. Nobody. But here's the thing, and I'm just gonna keep it a buck with y'all. A bunch of viewers are clearly just up here for the fights and the power-ups, which is cool. But you have to think about this. Solo Leveling has been giving us some absolute insane battles. God tier animation, and watching Jin-Woo level up has been straight up heat. But the moment they take a breather to focus on something more emotional, the whole reason he's been doing this shit, people start hitting that dislike button like it owes them money. And it's actually pretty crazy how many action anime run into the same exact problem. Like, the second they pump the brakes on the action, some fans just can't handle it and they start hating. But let me tell you something, and this is just facts. All these dope fights don't mean shit if we don't care about the characters, you feel me? Like when Jin-Woo finally sees his mom again and she wakes up, like I'm getting teary-eyed thinking about it. That shit hits you different. That's the stuff that makes you actually care about what's happening to these characters for real. Like without all this emotional stuff and seeing these characters grow, those fight scenes, they might look cool, but they won't hit you in the feels. They won't hit you in the heart. So seeing Jin-Woo reunite with his mom after everything he's been through, and I mean sit there and think about everything he's been through, that's what makes this whole journey mean something. It's like these anime studios are stuck between a rock and a hard place. They somehow got to keep the action fans happy while still telling a story that actually means something. And for me, it got to be tough out here for them. It had to be tough out here for real. But what I will say is, here are a few comments that I can agree with. My boy John568 said, "Who's the clown disliking it? Laughing my ass off, dog. He sacrificed his whole life just to save his mom, and y'all disliking him for that? If that's the case, then none of y'all deserve your moms. If you wouldn't sacrifice your life to protect her, then you are a scumbag. You're lower than the low. You don't belong. Word to Kakashi." Next up, Solo Leveling Forever 32 said, "This proves anime watchers only want mindless action for the shonen smooth brains. They don't want story, character development, or world building. They just want mindless action," which I can agree with. Half of y'all don't even give a fuck about nothing unless it's hands. Last but not least, Big Sean the GOAT said, "Over 1K people probably have never cried in their life or lost a close relative, and y'all lack empathy from what they seen." And to be real with you, if you can't agree with any of this, bro, stop watching Solo Leveling. Go watch Baki, go watch Hajime no Ippo. Matter of fact, don't even watch Hajime no Ippo. Go watch fucking Baki, Kenjin Ashura, or some shit like that, because I'm sick of y'all being so fucking meatheaded and only wanting action, bro.